あ、はい。
ここいいですか？
どうぞ。
ユミエラさん、あなたが魔王なんですか
？Alright, so there's no way I could be alone. And the end of the episode when Alicia sat down with our girl Ymmelia and she was like, "Are you the Maho? Are you the Demon Lord?" I was like, no, don't end on this. Immediately, I swear, I yelled out like, "No, don't end on this." And like immediately went to the credits and I was like, oh no. I was wondering the whole time, I was like, oh, maybe this Alicia girl, maybe she's isekai as well. That tends to be a trend this year, or not this year. I should over the last couple of years, it seems to be a trend is like somebody that like doesn't get isekai alone. They get isekai, with somebody else, or somebody else also ends up being in that world who also got teleported, transported, and reincarnated. So I was like, oh, maybe that's it. And I was like, oh, she keeps staring at her. Maybe it's like, well, she's light and Ymmelia is dark. So maybe it's just kind of like, what do you call it? Like yin and yang, kind of like heads butting, like one senses the other. Maybe she just kind of senses like, oh, she's the opposite of me, right? So I was like, oh, maybe that's it. Like maybe it's just one of those things to where like she just really thinks that it's the opposite of her. Maybe that's it, right? So, but it ended up not being that. It ended up being that she had suspicions that maybe, Ymmelia is a demon lord. Now, if you put your thinker cap on, from her point of view, it's like, well, let's say she was a demon lord, or let's say, she legitimately believes that she's a demon lord. It's like, okay, why would you show your power? Why would you, swear fealty to the crown? Why wouldn't you begin if you're this powerful, right? If you're level 99, that means like you're untouchable. Like not like you could just begin destroying the world right now. Why would you bother doing any of what she did? So, there's gonna be that. It's like, hey, how about you just think for a second, and what's cool about this is now it gives Ymmelia a good opportunity to be like, no, I'm not the demon lord. But I think we should talk on the side. And then she can kind of let her know, like, hey, here's the queen's plan. The demon lord's going to be resurrecting soon, apparently. I've been asked to, help the demon lord. You might not know it, but like you're here to also do that, and like she has opened up a fantastic door to have a friendship with the MC, or the real MC of the story. So I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see what ends up happening from here. Outside of that, I thought the rest of this episode was fantastic. I love that she met the true villainess of the story, or at least like the school villainess of the story, and come to find out, well, the school villainess, the one who tried to recruit her during the 𝐜𝐴ToME game, she ended up being just really obsessed with the prince, which is weird because she leads the anti-kingdom faction, or she's a part of the anti-kingdom faction. It's like, well, if you are in love with the prince, why are you part of the anti-faction? You should be part of you should be a support of the kingdom. But maybe she could be used as like a bridge between the kingdom and the anti-faction, whatever you call it, So it's like, okay, that could be a really cool thing. But then what happens to Alicia? Because she's the love interest of all of the princes in his entourage. So a lot of really good questions. I love that she met with the king and she bowed to dodge the the highest, strongest swordsman in the world, at least in the story. I thought that was a really, really cool moment. I really like how like the king gave her anything and she's like, no, I just want peace. Like I don't need anything, I like how the queen was able to discern people who are honest and dishonest because, obviously, you do this for so long. Like she said, you're able to kind of discern people with good intentions and bad intentions. And she immediately opened up to Ymmelia, which is like, oh, that's a really cool thing that she did there. So she now has like a lifeline and, a friendship with the queen. She's basically giving her like a 2-year timeline to like, become part of the royal family, figure things out. So it's like, okay, maybe the prince will change. Maybe the prince will gain her attention, you know, like lots of different options are on the table now. So overall, not to spend too much time, I thought episode number 3 of Villainess Level 99 was absolutely fantastic. I laughed during this episode. I was really, really entertained by this episode. And I gasped. I gasped at the end of the episode too, with Alicia just coming and just straight up asking, like, hey, are you the Demon Lord? So I thought that was incredibly entertaining. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. I always appreciate you guys being here each and every week. Shorter video because, like, really, unless I just recap the whole episode, not much else to talk about because I freaking loved it. I thought it was awesome. Love the little moments. And I really just love all the doors that were open on, like, what direction are we going to go now? Like, because we can go down so many different paths. And that's what makes it really, really exciting is to see, okay, what path do we end up going down? What path does being asked if you're the Demon Lord, what path does that open up? Like, I'm just ready. So, fantastic episode. See you guys next week for episode 4. Peace.